What's up, my guys? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of It's Nostalgia. As mentioned in the last episode of It's Nostalgia, I was dedicating two separate episodes to different formats. One was the first episode that you'd seen earlier was for classic gaming pickups. Now, this episode right here is dedicated to an awesome old school format that I'm a huge collector in, and of course that cemetery gamer and Cessnaces collectors into, and that is of course LaserDisc. Now, you've seen a lot of the LaserDisc videos on my channel. You've seen, my player that I have, the good old Pioneer CLD S201. But so anyway, got some pickups. One of them, of course, is a new LaserDisc player. I went ahead and retired my Pioneer CLD S201. I've actually moved that into my other room and have that hooked up to the other TV that's in there, so I can watch LaserDisc in there if I don't want to watch them in here in my office. Of course, that doesn't have the sound system in here that this one, my office, has. So yep, now I own two LaserDisc players, and I will show you that LaserDisc player in this video. But anyway, let's get to the LaserDisc pickups here. I got a lot of LaserDisc here. I got a stack of LaserDisc here. So without further ado, let's get this showing. First LaserDisc I picked up is, of course, The Black Hole. Great Disney movie. Remembered watching this as a kid. One of my mom's favorite scenes here for that movie is this scene right here with the asteroid going right through the ship. So yeah, picked this up on LaserDisc. Pretty glad to have this into my collection. I have it on VHS. It's actually in a tin, like a freaking carry basket right now with a lot of other VHSs that I have. Yeah, got that. Had to have that. Next pickup I got here. We used to have the VHS of this movie, and I think we got rid of it when we moved out here, which eventually we will be moving back to where we're originally from. So eventually you will not see this as this room anymore, because I'll have a newer office now. Of course, my mom will be in there with me. We're going to share an office, or we're going to hopefully share internet connections. So, but anyway, only seen 2 copies of this movie on eBay, and I went ahead and picked this one up, and that is, of course, Combat Academy, from the director that brought you Police Academy. Got some great stars in here. Funny movie. Has a Twisted Sister song at the beginning, which I actually had to go download that song because that was a great song. Twisted Sister, Be Cruel to Your School. So went ahead and downloaded that. When I first got this, I watched this on my new LaserDisc player, which I'm going to show off. And about towards the end of the movie, it started skipping, which I found quite odd, because I've got some LaserDisc titles that are not in great condition, but I've never had a LaserDisc skip before, which I found kind of odd, and this one skipped towards the end of the movie. So I was sitting around yesterday from work, and I'm like, let me go ahead and wipe the disc down. Maybe there's something on here I can, that is on the disc, and I'll clean that off, and I'll try it out in my other player, my S201. And sure enough, I popped it in, and then I scrolled ahead to the scene where it was skipping on the other player, and sure enough, my S201 played it just fine. So yeah, got that movie. This next movie here, this one is actually my 60th LaserDisc title, according to the LaserDisc database. This is the 60th title that I've purchased and that I have in my collection. And this is Mr. Killer Hort's favorite movie as well. Him and I were actually looking on eBay last week, and I'd seen this movie, and he said, and he was going to get it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to buy it. And he's like, oh, and that is, of course, Space Invaders on LaserDisc complete. Watched this yesterday. Forgot how funny this movie is. I remember watching it on recorded tape back in the day. I think I still have the recorded tape somewhere, but it's buried in a stack of tapes, which I'm going to have to go through. But yep, 60th title added to my collection on the LaserDisc database right here. I got more on the way, of course. Okay, this next movie here, when I first seen this movie, I actually saw it in the theater. I was working at a daycare center at the time. It was a summer job, and I was a teacher's assistant before I started started cleaning cars and eventually wrenching on them. So anyway, picked it up on VHS a long time ago. I don't have the original VHS that I picked up. I bought it from a family video because at the time you could buy movies that were rented. You could buy them off the shelves and own them for your collection, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, but then I eventually I got rid of that one in favor when I picked up the DVD version, of course, of this movie, and that is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Not a bad Star Wars movie, but I don't know what the fuck Lucas was thinking with Jar Jar Binks. I'd have killed that goddamn thing. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was a good way to start the prequel series, but of course, Jar Jar had to fucking shut up. I don't know. I think Jar Jar is more of a comic relief. But anyway, I have this. This is my DVD widescreen version of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, and I was talking to Mr. Killer Hornet, and I was looking for this on eBay, and I was looking for it on Rico Banchu, which is a website that sells LaserDisc, and somebody's messaging me. Oh, somebody just liked a post I posted, because I have pictures of all the new titles posted, so excuse me for that. But anyway, I found one, and then Thomas found this copy, and it was like $35, so I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. He has this movie, of course. Cessna Ace does not have this movie, which I find hard to believe. And Mr. Killer Hornet's version is actually not fully complete. And that is, of course, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace on LaserDisc. Mine has the OBI here, which is a piece of paper that has technical information. Of course, this was the very first LaserDisc movie that was released. In fact, the very first title that was released with Dolby Digital EX Surround EX, which is 6.1 channel AC3. It was released in Japan 2001. One of the last LaserDisc titles to be released, and the first one released with Dolby Digital Surround EX. And of course, it's got the flyer in here that actually explains about the Dolby Digital Surround EX, the 6.1. So, yep, I watched this yesterday on my receiver, and I will explain this in a minute on the player. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, sound awesome. Couldn't hear the jackass across the street that was revving up his motorcycle because I was too busy watching this. So yep. Great to have that in my collection. Of course, THX certified, LaserDisc graphics, widescreen. Alright, next movie I've got here. I've got this on VHS. And I first watched it on the National Network, which is now Spike TV. As of course, James Bond, The Spy Who Loved Me on LaserDisc. Great movie here. Introduced Jaws as a villain, so pretty great to have that. Don't have it on Blu-ray or DVD yet, which I need to rectify that. But other than that, I'm always glad to have it on LaserDisc. And of course, I can't have The Spy Who Loved Me without having the movie that came out afterwards. And as of course, now this is one of my favorite Bond films, Moonraker, on LaserDisc. I own 2 VHS copies of this movie. I own a Blu-ray copy of this movie, and now I own a LaserDisc copy of this movie. Yep, so glad to have this in my collection. Eventually I'll take a picture. I gotta find the other VHS copy of this movie, and I'll put it on my Facebook page. So, great addition there. Alright, this next movie here, first seen this movie when I was a kid. We had it on recorded tape. I think we recorded it off the Disney Channel when Disney was showing old movies. Their old Disney movies, as well as old cartoons, of course. My mom liked this movie, of course, and that is, of course, the Disney exclusive archive collection of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Gatefold jacket, widescreen, got a lot of bonus features at the end. Great title here, great movie. So, so glad to have this in my collection. I did see Tron, of course, on eBay. I may pick that up. So, yeah, great to have that in my collection. Okay, this next movie I got watched. I was actually in high school when I first saw this movie. One of my teachers actually showed us this movie during class. And I was in high school at the time, so I didn't care. And we were watching it on VHS. I can't remember what the class was, but anyway, we watched it, and it was Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. I wish the sleeve was the protective plastic sleeve that was originally on was in better condition, but man, I mean I'm glad to have this in my collection. Great movie, by the way. Totally pick this up on any format if you can. Alright, and the last LaserDisc title that I have added to my collection. My dad watched this movie. That's how I got into it and got into the Duke. I actually have this movie on VHS, the same cover, everything. And that's, of course, Hellfighters with John Wayne on LaserDisc. Actually portrayed one of the great oil fire legends, Red Adair, in this movie. Who, of course, Red Adair was a technical consultant on the film. This is one of John Wayne's best action movies he has. So, if you can, pick that up. If you can. Alright, that's the latest additions to my LaserDisc movie collection. Now, I'm gonna have to break this up because this is kind of getting long. This is kind of getting a long video. I don't like long videos, so please stay tuned where I will show off my player. So stand by for that. Alright guys, said I would show off my new LaserDisc player, and here it is right here. This is the Pioneer CLD D406 LaserDisc player. Now, please forgive the shakiness of the camera. I'm actually holding this in my hand. I don't have the tripod. And what's pretty cool about this player is for one, it has dual side play, which means what that means is the laser assembly actually flips over to play the second side of the LaserDisc. And so if you remember with my Pioneer CLD S201, that was a one-sided play LaserDisc player. And now I would have to flip the disc over to side B whenever I was watching a movie. But now I don't have to. The laser assembly actually flips over. So pretty great now that I have this. It's got the CD tray as the other player did. Let me open that up real quick. See, there's the CD tray. We'll close that up. And of course the granddaddy, the LaserDisc tray. Alright, and another great feature about this player too is it does have the AC3 RF output on the back. Fortunately right now I do not have an AC3 RF demodulator, which is what I would need to hook up this unit to my receiver so that I can experience the Dolby Digital AC3 that's on a lot of my LaserDisc in my collection, such as Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and Star Trek, First Contact, Star Trek Generations, a lot of other movies I have that are AC3. Gonna have a test here for you. Gonna pop in a LaserDisc movie here to show you that this player actually does work. This is my third LaserDisc movie that I have. Oh, excuse the shaky cam. I am so sorry about that. I may have to put this down for a second here. So there we go. I'll just set that right there for now and put in the LaserDisc movie so I can try this out to show you guys that this does work. Of course, putting on a movie right now is one of my latest additions, of course. And also too, I actually got a working remote for this LaserDisc player too. I actually got the one that's supposed to come with it right here. See? So we'll go ahead and we'll close the tray. All right, and we'll go ahead and we'll hit play here. Hearing it spin up here. Playing Space Invaders right here. This is Thomas' movie. One of Thomas's favorite movie. And we'll try out the dual side play. I actually put this in wrong, so we'll try out the dual side play real quick. Show you that works as well. Oops, FBI warning. Oops, don't want that. We gotta fast forward through that. And fast forward through that too. So yeah, and the picture looks awesome through this LaserDisc player. I'm very glad that I was able to find this for a pretty good price. So thanks for watching this episode of It's Nostalgia, and please stay tuned when I get, because as I said, I've got more LaserDisc titles on the way. So thanks for watching, guys, and this is Buffer Kid saying be cool, and see ya. Peace out, guys.